Welcome back to the show, guys. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while. It's been good 3, 4 weeks since I last spoke, since I last came online. Many reasons behind that. Obviously, I'm very busy with other work and whatnot. I'm doing loads of contract work right now. Been very busy with that. Crypto's been slow, so really haven't been focusing too much on crypto. In fact, I didn't actually even look at my charts for the last 2, 3 weeks now, because what's the point, right? When you look at something and you are able to see what direction something's about to move, right? Whether it's, bullish or bearish, whatever direction you see it, and you're able to get indications, sometimes weeks in advance, um, months in advance as well, to a certain extent, right? You start to understand. You're like, okay, do you know what? I can just relax. So the last one we did talk about, like, we had about 10 days to do something. That 10 days was complete. In fact, it's been about 17 days since then. And we have approximately another, I don't know, 7 days, I believe, 7 days and 3 or 4 hours remaining. When I mean 3 or 4 hours, I'm talking about like midnight candle close. So technically just over 7 days until next Sunday, for us to make a mega decision, right? So hence why the title is Bitcoin could do one of two things. Now, let's talk about this, and hopefully a lot of people will understand where I come from. I mean, where I'm coming from with this whole thing, right? Because a lot of people don't understand probably. I know a lot of people want something every other day or every day, right? Oh, why is this guy not talking on about crypto or something every single day? It is what it is, and I'm not here for views and whatnot. I know we do like vertical streams every now and then. We get a whole bunch of people come on. Today, as you can see, I'm not doing a vertical because, again, I'm not here for the views. I just thought, you know what, it's been a while. Everyone's quiet, everyone's silent, and I understand why. There are two reasons behind it. One, obviously, the market is depressing. Politics is absolutely disgusting, so I'm not even going to talk about that. That's not even part of the conversation. And then the other thing is obviously a lot of my brothers are, oh, brothers and sisters, I should say, currently are very busy with the month of Ramadan. I don't know if many of you guys or many of the viewers know this, but it is the month of Ramadan. Hence why the timetable's been kind of off, because you fast, you break your fast, you go to your prayers and do whatnot. So it's been kind of busy. That's what it is. So I understand that. Hence why I've been kind of busy myself with all of this stuff as well. And I understand a lot of the guys are very busy. But one person kind of shocked me, which I hope he does come and watch it later because he's never missed a video, is our brother KR. He's been missing in action. So he's MIA. I was thinking about calling him. I probably will call him, but I'll give him another week or two and see how things go. Because he is a absolute positive energy, of absolute positive force, I should say, right? The force be with you. But no, he's really, really good, and I have seen him quite silent, so I'm not sure what's going on. I am going to phone him. I have been waiting to see what's going on. Anyway, so let's get back to the conversation, Bitcoin, what it could possibly do. So I want to talk about the earlier signals that we got like 3, 4 weeks ago, possibly even longer than that. One of the signals that we got was that the market is super bullish. And so far, it is giving us indications the market is super bullish, right? Now, we are excited. We are very, very excited. In fact, we have turned bullish on all indicators. So I'm not going by the news or anything, guys. I'm talking about the specifics in the charts. The specifics in the charts tell us that we must get above the $86,000, which we will probably break through because we have attempted it a couple of times. I'm not even talking about the daily stuff. I'm talking about the larger time frames, especially at the weekly. And I am going to talk about the 2 weeks as well. So on the weekly, we have attempted it. We didn't go through, but it's nothing wrong with that. As long as the momentum comes in, as long as we don't have too much drama in the social media world, I think we can push forward. And as soon as we push forward and we close a candle above $86,000 and move towards the 90, 92, 93,000, whatever you would call it, it doesn't really matter. It's not relevant because until 98,000, it's not really that relevant. So from $86,000, we need to get to $98,000 in order for us to continue with the current bull market. I have to say current because we could potentially lose it, right? And we've been testing. So far so good. All the indicators, as I said, is bullish. Weekly is very bullish. The RSI is very bullish. The stochastic RSI is even more bullish, right, on the weekly. So everything is good. But the 2 weeks, so we have reset, we have printed kind of upwards, but the RSI that we have actually seen pointing upwards, it basically 7 days ago we confirmed it that yes, everything is moving forward. However, the stochastic RSI didn't entirely point upwards, which is what added another week for us, which is exactly what's happening here right now. One more week has been added on, hence why I said next Sunday would be the completion of a 2-week candle close. So once we get that, if we actually see a lovely positive action there, especially the stochastic RSI, right? The blue line, most people have it as a blue line. Salam, my brother. Hey, what's up, my brother? Desi, nice to see you, my brother. So when we see the blue line on the stochastic RSI push forward, that's when the big action happens, right? However, because it is such a longer time frame indicator, right? Let's just call it an indicator, because it works on a 2-weekly basis. Salam, my brother. SM, nice to see you, my brother. So I know it's a very late in Dubai for you right now, isn't it? Very late in Dubai, but yeah, nice to see you here as well, my brother. So what was I saying? So the 2-week candle, right? Because it's such a vast amount of data, it's very big data. In order for us to get confirmation on that, these are like super ultra, right? You know, the best of the best signals you can get, because what happens is the RSI pointing up or down is happened basically 2 weeks prior to the candle close. So that's we're getting that confirmation 2 weeks later. That means it's not a spontaneous, like, or something rapid, or, you know, like that just happens now every other day, right? We're not, this is built on major data, right? It's taking 2 weeks worth of data and then printing one up or one down, which means basically that's a great confirmation. It's a bigger confirmation than a weekly, even though I love the weekly candles. So far so good, right? We know the RSI is up, so we were confirmed 2.5 weeks ago that we are moving up, right? Which is great. 3 weeks ago, basically, we're moving up, so that's a good thing. And then we're going to confirm even further a week down the line, and the RSI could start flipping up. Remember, the RSI doesn't necessarily follow, sorry, the stochastic RSI doesn't necessarily follow the RSI, right? The stochastic RSI is more of a current thing, it's more recent. So when we start seeing that currently still pointing down, we're just waiting for that to point up. And that up could be today, could be tomorrow, could be anytime. Now, I have this weird feeling, especially looking at the weekly, how the weekly has been pointing bullish right now. Again, if you move into the moving averages and look at your 50 weekly moving average and this and that, or 21 weekly moving average, they all kind of come into play and they all kind of show you. So think about it. This is 50 weeks worth of data. This is 21 weeks of data. These are serious data. These are no joke. And if all of them are pointing bullish, then more often than not, we are freaking bullish, right? So far, I'm still very bullish. Now, I did say one of two directions on the title, right? So what does that mean? So this is what that means. If we fail the 86,000, right? So far, we're still very close to it. We're trying to break it. Everything is bullish. The only time I will start panicking is if we fail again and probably go and test the 78K again. Because remember, we have tested that 78K, which is not a good thing for us. So now that we're in this critical level between the 78,000 and the 86,000, at any point now, right, we need to break above, obviously. And the bullish signs are telling us we are going to break above. If the politics doesn't get involved, or the global media and whatnot doesn't get involved, right, then we can push forward. And I think 98K, we can have that tomorrow. Right, maybe even by Wednesday we could have a 98K. Watch how fast the market moves. You know, you're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? I know a lot of you guys think like this as well, right? But remember, when the moves happen, these moves happen at 10, you know, 5 to 10 grand moves. They're nothing. They're nothing, guys. It's only a few percent, right? You know, $8,000 or $8,500 move, it's only a 10% move. So it's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So, and Bitcoin can do that. We can do that in a couple of days. We can do 20-30% moves in a couple of days. So think about those numbers. So when I say we need to get to 98K, that's where the action happens, not before that. But before that, we are still at a critical level. So what I am going to say, like a freaking broken record in every single live stream that I've said, is set up your stop losses. But the only difference you're doing on this particular time is you want to keep your stop losses not with a nice little cushion that, okay, 78k is good. Anything less than 78k, we might want to drop out. But if we stay at 78k, we're good, right? So for me, like, I did have a stop loss, and I'm telling you what I personally have done, and I have spoken about it before as well, that I've had a stop loss at $76,000, and I still have that stop loss at the $76,000. Why? Because I think that even if we do blip down below 78, we might just hold on and come back again. So at least I'm not liquidated. Hence why I have this lovely cushion there. But what I am going to do this season, right, or at this end of the season, as I said, this is the end of the bull market. What I am going to do is, as we progress, if we do head towards the 98, and which we should, right? We should go towards the 98k. If we do, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to readjust the stop loss, and I'll probably take it from 76,000 to 86,000 this time. So all I'm doing, I'm just playing with the game. I'm like, okay, I'm going to move my cushion up a little bit because I'm at 98 now. So similar way, I'm going to have this nice little cushion. However, as we go higher, as we head towards 100k, 105, 100 whatever, 109k, if we do head towards that, and I'm very optimistic that we do, and if we do, then my cushion will become a little bit smaller. So rather than having a $10,000 cushion, I'll probably have a $5,000 cushion, right? Because what I would love to do is buy it on the way down, because we are getting to that critical level where we, you know, print a brand new all-time high, right? We print a brand new all-time high, or we have a triple top or a double top, or whatever you call it, and boom, market's over. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. That's one of the reasons why we have to play more cautiously now. Remember this, guys. The time we are excited is when the market is bloody. So when the market is red, right, that's when you should have a party. You open up whatever bubblies you got out there, right? You open that up and you move forward, because that's when you need to be excited. But when the market's green, that's when we start panicking, right? And I do the complete opposite, and I know a lot of you guys think I'm a freaking freak about that, but I am what I am, and I'm doing what I'm doing, so it is what it is. If you're here for the first time, my name is Sham. This is etherum, and the truth is always out there. And what I mean by that, guys, you can go back on every one of my videos, and probably, if you can, go back on the charts as well within those timelines of dates. So every single live stream I've done, or every single other pre-recorded videos I've done, I've usually put the timestamps and the date there as well, if I could. If not, if it's a live stream, obviously you know what date it is. So you can go back and look at the charts and see what I've talked about and match those if you want, right? You know, if anyone wants to investigate me, ZachXBT or whatever, right? By all means. And you can see the truth is out there. So I've always said what I had to say about the numbers, about the directions. I've been completely honest with you guys. And I've tried to help people by just advising people, not financial advice, obviously, but just advising guys, look, stop loss and this and that, protect yourself, protect your funds. Let's not be foolish. So that's what it is, and this is exactly pretty much in line with what I'm saying right now as well. Like, as we progress upwards, I might reduce my cushion so my stop loss is not that bad. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But right now, I'm still very confident that we have good opportunities to move up. But as we move up, we are now entering an even bigger risk area, because that's when you could lose your emotional control and assume that we're going to 200k, 300k, 500k, 700k, right? And you lose all control, but you forget that you have a stop loss sitting at 76k, for example. You know what I mean? So as we progress, my stop loss number is also going to move up as well, so I don't lose too much, and I can maximize my profits and keep my, or even keep my initial. Let's not talk about profits, but it is what it is. So that's that, guys. So other than that, how is everybody? If you are here for the first time, as I said, my name is Sham. This is etherum. The truth is always out there. And if you're here from the community, let me know. Say hi, don't be shy. So other than that, there was another thing I was going to talk about actually as well. So I've been kind of busy, right? So I started some contract work basically. So that's kind of almost finished. So I'll be free again. But in the meantime, I got so interested in what it was, and you know, it's something. Look, I've been in it 20 odd years, right? Let's just say 20 plus years. The first time I did it, I've been already involved in this stuff. But I've kind of didn't focus too much on it, right? I mean, especially for the last freaking decade or plus, right? But almost a decade now, actually. I've been involved so heavily in crypto, so heavily invested in crypto, to the point where, like, you know, 2020 or 2021, I can't remember which year it was, I had some issues and whatnot, and I literally went 100% into crypto. 100%. I didn't even trust the banks. I didn't trust anything, right? I got rid of all my credit cards, everything. I only had one debit card remaining. That was me, right? Literally, people talk about, financial things for bankless. I became bankless. I wanted to become bankless. I didn't trust them anymore, right? Because of a situation I had, basically. There was I was doing some transfers from my exchange to my bank account and whatnot, and the bank decided to freeze my account to investigate me, and that's where the relationship broke, basically. And I thought, well, it's my money. It's my money. You know where it's coming from. You know where it's going. You saw where it came from, and yet you hold me hostage, right? Until I do X, Y, Z, which I did, and then you release my account. But should a customer who's been with you for 20 plus years go through that? And that's when my entire relationship with the what do you call this? The banks broke. So I don't trust the banks. I did deal with cash and whatnot. So that's just me, right? I'm just telling you the truth here. So, but I kind of stopped looking at properties. At that time, I wasn't interested in properties. Come on, who's going to be interested in properties, right? You get what, 6, 7%, 8% yield per year if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you get 6, 7% yield. So for me, the way I looked at it was, what's the point looking at all of this stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather basically go and do crypto, where I could probably make 10% a day, which is exactly what I was doing, right? So end of the day, the way I looked at it was, look, I'm making more money elsewhere. Why am I going to focus on this stuff? But right, life goes around in circles, right? Life goes around in circles. I mean, I kind of forgot my roots, kind of forgot my beginnings, because that's what I used to do, right? So technically that's what I was doing until I found crypto, and then I kind of lost my whole thing. Now I've gone back to the roots, and I'm like, you know what? That's what I used to do. That's what I can do. And that's the most sustainable thing. That's the one that actually brick and mortar stays. So, after a lot of thought, and obviously now I'm with the right kind of people as well. And I think it takes that kind of thing as well, because, when we're doing crypto, right? And I know I'm talking to myself here, basically, but, if you're here, just say hi. But when you're doing crypto, you're doing crypto. And you kind of associate yourself or mix with people from the same industry, right? And even if you don't, somehow it's like you're like a magnet, right? Or that other people are like a magnet, and all of a sudden you attract other people from the same thing. So when I'm doing crypto, believe me, I meet so many people doing crypto, and we connect, right? Because we're doing crypto. Do you know what I mean, right? And then, I kind of stayed away from all my property mates, right? So as I got into the contract work, and now I'm with all the property mates, all of a sudden, like a freaking magnet, I'm connecting with all these guys in the property game again. And I'm like, wow, I've missed a lot, right? I've missed a lot. Because like, for example, one of my best mates, right? Him and me, we started together. And he's in a particular position right now, and I'm in another position. I'm like, whoa, what happened there? And he's like, yeah, that's exactly the case. You were doing crypto. Yes, you were making a lot more money, but you were also losing a lot more money. It's true. It's like, well, I've been making a lot of money, but I haven't been losing any because they're all stuck in brick and mortar. And I was like, actually, that's not a bad point. So I've kind of moved my direction right now. So I'm focusing a lot more on moving back into property. Definitely want to do property. Hence why I've kind of, let's just say, put my fingers in a few honeypots or whatever you call it, and so far it's working good. So far it's doing good, but I am going to be going kind of big with this as well. So I have spoken to a few people, making a few connections and whatnot, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is what I got to do, because at the end of the day, I've got liquid capital, right? And having liquid capital is okay, it's great. You're free to do whatever you want, which is exactly what I've done. But you also risk being hacked, being robbed and whatnot, right? So I've had that. I've been freaking paranoid about that for a very long time, right? And even being paranoid, taking all precautions to safeguard, right, to protect myself, protect my passwords and this and that. It doesn't matter if someone really, really wants to get you, they get you. Because I know, not long ago, I got basically hacked, and I got hacked even before that, right? I had no idea I've been hacked, and the hacker or whoever was waiting there with my wallet, waiting there, to the point where they wiped me out completely, right? So I've got NFTs, I've got all sorts of other cryptos, and I still well, used to, I should say used to, the correct word would be used to, because I don't anymore have access to that wallet. But I used to get airdrops and whatnot because I've had thousands and thousands of dollars worth of transactions on various different things. I've bought XYZ, and I used to get airdrops and whatnot in those wallets, and even that was wiped out, to the point where, you know, now I'm a little bit more wiser, and I think, you know what, probably they had some sort of a smart contract or something there where they were literally just wiping it out as soon as it came in. So my account was totally drained, and it was being drained every other day, and it got so depressing. So I said, you know what, can't be bothered. So when I changed my device, so this current device I have, when I changed it into this device, I actually decided not to transfer the old wallet. So, you know, I said, you know what, let it go, right? Let it go. I don't want to know. I'm never going to log into it. I don't want to even know the password or the seed phrase or anything anymore. So that's what I did, right? I left that part away. You know what I mean? Left that part of me, because it psychologically, I was really, really affected in so many different ways. And then the past few years has been really, well, I should say past 5-6 years has been really, really bad for me. Well, 7 years now, actually. Very bad for me, where I've had one after the other situations. So rather than pulling myself down and being all negative about it, I said, you know what, leave it. I changed my device, changed my life, leave that aside. That's an opportunity, right? So I took an opportunity and made a decision. I said, I'm not going to ponder over what's happened. I'm not going to go and cry over it and moan over it, because it's happened. So now I'm going to leave that aside. And the only way I can leave that aside is by disconnecting myself. So I disconnected myself. And then I'm kind of available, you know, and I've lost other stuff as well, lost my business and whatnot. So while I'm available, right, doing my thing, I got offered. I was like, you know what, might as well go and deal with something. So I dealt with it. And that's when the connections, like that magnetism, right? I don't know, it's probably the law of attraction. I don't know what it is, but one after the other. And I've been so busy every single day. Believe me, it's been like 12 hours, 14 hours non-stop, including travel, obviously, non-stop, to the point where I'm drained, right? And I'm like, wow, right? But like one location to another, you get to meet so many different people. And I was like, that's what I've been missing. That's what I'm missing. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. That's what I am doing now. And as I said, there will be opportunities. I will talk about it with the community, especially. I'm not going to talk about it on YouTube, because that's not the place for it. I'm not here trying to promote anything, guys. I'm not here trying to advertise anything, but I think there are opportunities, and I would love to have discussions with the community members and hopefully guide you guys, right? The idea is I want to guide you guys to say, look, guys, if you got 10 grand to go and risk on crypto, right? And what I mean by risk, I mean, look, a lot of people are risking this, like people are losing money. So I'm like, if you are going to risk it, unless it's at the beginning of a bull market where you're guaranteed to make 2x, 3x, right? Then you make that, you take your initial investment out. If you have done that, and now you're thinking about going in again, but we're at the peak of the market, which means the market could dump any second, and you want to put 10 grand in, right? So let's think about it this way. You came into the market, at the bottom of the bear market, you put 10 grand in. Your 10 grand made you 2x, right? So you got 2x profit, like 3x, 2x profit. So you got 20 grand sitting there, liquid. Fair play, no problem. You take that out, do whatever you want to do. But now you're thinking of buying other stuff with that profit money. So you're not even spending your initial. Let's just be sensible here and say you're not using your initial, but you're trying to buy with other stuff. But you're taking that risk, and now all of a sudden, market ends, something goes south, and all of a sudden you lost that 20K, you're back to your initial, and you're panicking now. Well, I'm thinking, do you know what? Maybe there are other things that people can do where if you've put your money in, taken your initial out, made some profit, invest that profit into something. That's what I'm doing right now. And that's what I'm saying. So I would rather talk to you guys. I mean, if you guys want me to talk about on YouTube, let me know. I'll talk about it, right? I'll do an entire video and we'll talk about it. I don't have a problem with that. You know me, I'm very open, right? An open book. So I think that's what people need to do. And that's what I'm going to be now trying to help my community do. I'm going to be like, you know what, guys, right? You don't have to come through to me. None of that business. I'm not trying to consult anybody, trying to make any money out. None of that business, right? I'm just going to purely advise everyone, guys, if you've invested money and you've made double your money, take your initial out. Number one, take your initial out. But as soon as you've done that, try and lock some of that profit into something physical, because that's the part that I was missing. Because I was risking everything. Even when I was holding it in a freaking cold wallet, I was risking everything. Even when I had it in a hot wallet, I was risking everything. Even some of the assets I have now in some of the wallets and the exchanges and whatnot, that's a risk. That's liquid, man. That's a risk. Someone might hack into it, someone might do. That's a freaking risk. But if I had it in brick and mortar, it's not a risk, That's what I was missing. So finally I got it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go on a long-winded one for you. But anyway, we'll do another live stream and I'll talk to you guys about it because, guys, I think this is the right thing. And obviously it's a month of reflection, a month of, for us, it's like religious thing as well. So I just looked at it and I was like, you know what? There's so much going on here. I think, we need to advise people the right way for the right thing. And hopefully people would actually look into opportunities, because do you know what? I got brothers in the community, right? I got brothers in the community who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I'm not even fucking joking. Excuse my language. I'm not even joking, right? I think the last one, I forgot what coin it was. One of our brothers, he put like $800 in and he made like $86,000. You do the maths. That's some big money, right? So we got brothers making serious money out there. We got brothers who invested like, I don't know, maybe 50K, 60K. So people have 50, 60K. Brother invested 50, 60K, right? He's made like a couple of mil now. Do you know what I mean? So there are brothers who are doing this. And I'm happy and I'm proud of all of you guys, right? There's another brother, he put $50 and he made like 300K. Do you know what I mean, right? I'm not going to mention the coins, but the point is it doesn't matter what it is. The brothers made money, right? So all of my brothers have made money and I'm really happy about it. But they need to start taking some of those assets off the table and lock it down into something brick and mortar. That's the only brotherly advice I can give. This is not financial advice. Do whatever you want to do, right? It's your freaking money. But that's what you need to do, because, guys, we've been playing risky for a very long time. And I'm one of those. Believe me, I'm no freaking angel. I'm taking the highest amount of risks with my trades, with my longs, all of those things. I'm risky, right? And I've paid for it dearly. By getting hacked, by getting robbed, and this and that, you name it. But now I'm thinking, do you know what? I could do everything I do, 100% risk, but this time when I risk it, it's locked down. No one can take it. That's the part I'm thinking. I'm like, that's what I got to do, right? So that's the direction I'm moving right now. So I'm looking into the property lettings and rental market, refurbs and renovations and refinance, you name it, the whole shebang. So yeah, I'm going big into this. So when I do, I'll talk to you guys and there'll be opportunities. And what I mean by that is, for example, and I'll tell you plainly and openly right now, right? What I mean by that, there are sometimes, and like 2 days ago on Friday, I spoke to a brother about this. So there's a property that just come on the market. So I said to him, I said, look, there's a property just come on the market. I know you got 50, 60 grand sitting around doing absolutely nothing, right? Sitting in the bank doing absolutely nothing. Well, how about this? You invest that money into this. This is what I said to the brother. So listen to this, right? I said, you invest that money into that property. You buy that property. I'll tell you how much money it's going to take to refurb the place and all of those. So I said, that's how much it's going to cost on the market valuation, market price, basically. So builders could be 2 grand more, maybe 2 grand less. We don't know, but that's an average rate. So I said, look, here's a property. You might need 50 grand to buy the property. You might need 15 to 20 grand, right, to renovate the property. But the valuation of, so the property is like worth 100 grand. I said, like, property's worth 100 grand. So, but the valuation after you do the renovation and everything, it's like 150 grand. He's like, what? I said, yeah, you buy for 50 grand, right? Deposit whatever mortgage, 50 grand, invest 15 to 20 grand, 70 grand, but then you can make 70 to 80 grand just like that. He was like, whoa. I said, yeah, so that's a deal I'm giving to you, right? So those kind of opportunities are coming. I was like, look, you do it, anything. So he's like, oh, then why don't you renovate it for me? I'll pay you. You be my builder. I was like, okay, fine. If that's what you want, but that's a separate thing. But I could do that, and then you can just give me a little bit of commission. So complete transparency, complete openness. That's what it is. Or there are other options. Like on this particular one, he's even said like, okay, why don't you become? I was like, fine. If you want 50-50, we can do that. No problem. We can go knock it out, boom, and then we split the profit, right? So there are options out there, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. So rather than going around the bush, I'm just telling you directly, guys, there are opportunities out there to make money, to flip properties, right? Even forget flipping them, bro. Hold on to them. Once you refinance it, hold on to it. It's yours. Who cares? You know what I mean? Why you got to sell it for, right? Rent it out, make some money, man. It's just on another level. So that's why you probably have noticed I'm so busy and I'm smiling. So because it's just on another level, right? And that's what I was missing, and I was stupid, right? You know, I shouldn't be worried about, oh, I've lost this much BTC, I've lost this much Ethereum, would have been worth XYZ. Actually, today's value, it would have been worth about 17-18 million dollars, right? 17-18 million dollars. That's what I'm thinking. Fuck that. Who cares? Bubble, my brother. Nice to see you. Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares if it's worth 17-18 million dollars? It doesn't matter. Do you know why? Because the mate who started at the same time, he's currently worth 17-18 million, probably 20 million dollars, right, in assets. His bank account is empty, by the way. So the difference between him and me is my bank is good, his bank is bad. You know, balance, right? You know, funds. But he's worth that in property. I'm not. I'm thinking, where did I go wrong? Well, now I know where I went wrong. Bubble, my brother, that's where I went wrong. I probably need to move up down your sides. I'm not even joking. You're not late, my brother. I've been here some time now, 30 minutes now. We did do the crypto stuff in the beginning. I kind of talked about it, and then I thought, you know what, I'll catch up on some of the stuff that I did want to talk about when I did say I was going to probably do a live stream, but I didn't see anybody show any interest, hence why. So guys, again, I'm here for you guys. If you guys don't want to see a live stream or whatever, fine. All right, I'm not going to take time out to come and deal with it. I am free sometimes, but as I said, the contract work is about to come to an end, so that's a good thing. So I'm quite happy with that. When that finishes, I'll probably be on another one, but that one's not confirmed. So the other one, I think Bubble, close to you probably, Huddersfield or something. Do you know something called Huddersfield? Yeah, I do know what happens in auctions. So in an auction, you bid, you buy, you secure it, do whatever you need to do. But here's the one thing you need to do in an auction, right? In an auction, when you buy a property in an auction, when you have a limited amount of time, usually, you know, about 4 weeks for you to complete on the property, which means if you do go to an auction, the only advice I'm going to give to you, it doesn't matter when you do it, right? You can go tomorrow, you can go a month later, it doesn't matter. This is what you do first. First of all, you go to your mortgage broker, if you have one, or if you don't, no problem, we can connect you up with people. But you go to your mortgage broker and you get your mortgage sorted out. So you go to your mortgage broker and say, look, I'm thinking about buying a property. That's what you do before you go to the auction. I'm thinking about buying a property, right? Worth 200K. Can you lend me that? And if you do lend me that, how much deposit do I have to pay? So say, for example, mortgage. So the lender comes out and says, okay, you're a first-time buyer, or maybe you're a second-time buyer, maybe you're a business, right? Okay, whatever the case is. So anything from 5%, maybe even 100%, but there's other ways of getting 100%. But anything from 5% all the way to 25%. That's the deposit amount you need. Right? The more deposit you have, the better it is. Anyway, the easier it gets, basically. So you have your deposits up to 25%. So now if you've got a £200,000 property, you need £50,000 deposit just for the sake of it. This is the case that I have, basically. So I'm just going to refer to that. So you have 150,000 agreed by your mortgage lender that they will give that to you, provided you find a property. So all your paperwork is done. Money is ready for them to transfer, as long as they know what property they're transferring it to. When you have that, go to the auction. Go to the auction. Now, all you have to do is buy the property below the amount that you're borrowing. That's it. That's it. Give you a good example. I think this was about 3-4 months ago. 4 months, probably 4, maybe 5 months ago. I can't remember exactly. So there was a property for £3 million. £3 million in the heart of central London. £3 million. It's worth about £3.2 million. So listen to this carefully. This is a real life story, right? So the guy who wanted to buy it, he had to get a mortgage. So he went and got a mortgage pre-approved, right? Because he knew what day the auction is going to start. So he knew that it was like 3 weeks time the auction is going to start. So what he did, he phoned up a bunch of friends. He said, guys, I need money. I need to buy this property. I need money. Okay, fine. So obviously people have lent money. Some people gave him 20 grand, some people gave him 50 grand, whatever the case is, because everyone knows what it's for. So it's kind of similar to what I'm doing now as well. So anyway, so people have invested money into this property. So the brother, he organized the full mortgage for 3 million. So, you know, 20% down, or sorry, 25% down, mortgage for 3 million, whatever that was. He's got all of that sorted out, paperwork sorted out. He went to the auction. So he's got cash, big 25% cash sitting there. Then he's got the mortgage amount as well. So he goes there and he said, look, he bids. He wins the property. And I think he bought it for 1.7 million. So he wins the bid. So he's bidding from, God knows, I think like a couple of 100,000 all the way to 1.7 million. He won. Because he had a £3 million mortgage pre-organized, right? Basically, he didn't even need the money he raised. So he had this entire mortgage pre-organized. So anyway, within 3 weeks, he had the property. He completed later. So all paid off, mortgage, the auction released the property, right? So obviously he's got 3 million. He didn't take that money. He said, okay, this is what the value is. Let's do that. So theoretically, the mortgage company then ended up giving him so he was going to put 25% deposit. He didn't even have to put 25% deposit because the property had so much equity. They used the equity against it, and they said, do you know what? It's fine. Your property is worth double the amount. Your property is worth double the amount than you purchased it, so it's fine. You can pay a very small amount. So he paid a very small amount to get that mortgage. Just 2 weeks ago, that property was remortgaged at the current market valuation of $3.2 million. To 3.2 million pounds, sorry. So now what's happened is that property technically is free. For him, it's free because he has zero money from his own pocket invested there. Zero, absolutely zero. Right? So he has a 3.2 million pound property where he hasn't paid a penny deposit, and now the property has paid him $1 million in advance. So he's got more than £1 million paid to his bank because he remortgaged the entire thing, remortgaged it in his bank right now to go and do whatever. So now he's looking for another property. You know what I mean? So the reason I'm talking about this particular property, remember I said that I might have another contract coming soon. So the property he's looking at, I've looked at it as well. I might even be involved in it. It's a good little project. Nice little, we're going to buy it, we're going to refurb the whole place, and then we're going to refinance it. So let's put it this way. He's put an offer down for close to £1 million to buy this particular property. Property value in that particular road, the lowest value in that road is about £2 million. So do the maths. That's another £1 million just sitting there. So that's all I'm going to say. When you do go to buy a property from an auction, I don't want to make a long one. We can talk about properties all day long. But if you do go to an auction, have your mortgage ready. If not, if you're a cash buyer, then just have your cash ready, basically. All right. So that's about it. Yeah, pretty easy, So if you're going to buy cash, and I think you are going to buy cash. Bubble. Bubble. Oh, man. So, yeah. But no, it's listen. all I'm saying to everybody, right, is guys, we've made a lot of money. Come on. Like Bubble, everybody, I mean, to the point, right? I'm not talking about what balance is now. I'm not talking, you may have gone from $100 to $1 million and come back to $100. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the point that we went from $100 to $1 million. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the brother who bought $50 worth of something and made $300,000. I'm talking about that dude. I'm talking about the brother who invested $800 into something and made $86,000 within a few days. I'm talking about that dude. So what I'm saying is if you've made those kind of gains, rather than focusing too much into crypto, which we're going to do, I'm a crypto all in, right? But portion of that now has to go into something secure because that's what we need. We need a backup. And that's what I'm trying to advise to everybody. Guys, get a backup. If you can afford to, whatever way, buy some property, invest in some property, because the returns are going to be so much more stable and so much more better. Yes, okay, you're not going to make 10% a day as you would in crypto, but you have 100% risk trying to make 10% a day. In properties, you're going to make a 6 to 8%, maybe if you're lucky, 10% regularly, year on year. And then it gets even better. Property appreciates over time as well. So you get that as well. And then the technique that we use where we buy, refurbish, and refinance, that's an entire different league because you're literally getting properties for free. That's at another level. right? So you see where I'm coming from. So theoretically, if you think about it, you are making 100%, right, on every other property. So it's another whole other level. That's what people need to focus on. So yeah, get into that. Other than that, guys, it's been an absolutely awesome stream. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Just listening to me. I haven't had any trolls today or anything. But if you do have any other questions, do let me know. I'll happily talk about it. I don't have a problem. If not, then I should love you and leave you and carry on. So I'm going to wait and see if you have any questions. If you do have anything, let me know. Happily talk about it. Bubble, we'll definitely talk about it, brother. You're welcome to call me. We'll talk about it. But I think that's the direction a lot of us brothers need to go, man. We need to go through this because that's what I was missing. And obviously, how would I say this? I'm a creative guy. I like building. I like building stuff, whether it's technology, whether it's software, whether it's company. I'm an entrepreneur, right? So whatever, I love doing these things. But I also have a passion for building, carpentry. I'm a carpenter. So I have this passion for it. And I was missing that. You know what I mean? And now I'm back in the game. I'm like, hey, there's no stopping me. I've got 20 years to catch up. 20 years that I've missed in the game, I've got to catch up, right? So I'm going to do 20 years worth of catch up in 2 years. That's my goal here. And I'm going to do it fast. I'm going to move very fast. So it is what it is. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for coming to the show. I hope you found value. I hope you heed my advice. Guys, it's not always about making 10%, 20%, 30%, 100%, 5x, 10x, 20x. We will do those, but we shouldn't risk too much. 4, 5%, 10% of your entire portfolio should go there. Other than that, rest of it, if you've made money, you secure it into some brick and mortar. I'm not even talking about businesses. Don't do lease and none of that business. No leasing, none of that. No renting, none of that business. Go and buy your own asset. You can't buy it here, buy it abroad. Doesn't matter where. You buy that property, you buy that land, you become that freehold owner of that property, and you see how much value that brings to you. Doesn't matter if it's completely derelict. It doesn't matter if it's just a piece of farmland. It doesn't matter. Believe me, it will bring value. I'm not even, there's a whole other story behind that. But believe me, that's what you need to do, right? That's where the money is. So other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe, and lots of love to all of you, and all the other guys coming here as well, Bubble, everybody as well. Awesome. Thank you very much, Desi. Thank you very much, SM, for telling me that you would love to come, and thank you. Because of you, I'm here. So as I said, guys, if you do want me to come on a live and talk about anything, it doesn't matter. We don't have to do crypto. This is 0x5. This is not crypto. 0x5 is the truth. The truth is out there. It's all about us. It's all about our truth. And it's a family. So yeah, let's keep it that way. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. Where is it? Where's that button gone? Oh my, do you know I haven't used this function for some time? I don't even know how to end the stream. I'll figure it out. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.